What is up, folks? Welcome back to the Happy Doomsday channel. It is March 20th, and you know what that means. Is it your mum's birthday? I don't know. Potentially. Might be. Is it anniversary? I don't know. Why are you asking me that? Above all, it is the release of X-Men 97, the premiere of the first 2 episodes, and we are here to review them.
To me, my X-Men.
Cyclops. Jean Grey.
We'll always be family.
Storm.
I am lightning!
Rogue.
Heads up!
Gambit.
Too hot to handle.
Jubilee. Beast.
Welcome.
And Wolverine.
Scary enough, bub?
They're all back in 10 new episodes.
The X-Men are here to stay.
Don't miss the all-new X-Men 97, only on Disney+.
I'm here with my X-Men animated t-shirt. I feel a little bloated because I had a fudge ton of cereal to chow down while I'm watching these 2 episodes, and we are here to review them. So let's get it. When the theme song just hits for the first time, you just feel it, that nostalgia just scoring through your veins. I don't think I've had that big of a sort of nostalgia-gasm, if you would put it that way, since maybe that first Force Awakens trailer when we see Han and Chewie on.
Chewie, we're home.
On the Millennium Falcon. Probably not had that big of a gasm since then. I'm not even joking. All across all the fields, not just nostalgia. Oh, it was so good. And the episodes just didn't disappoint. So it starts right back up from where the original series ended, with the death of Charles Xavier, the assassination of Charles Xavier. And see, here's the thing, when straight away, to all the people that are like, oh, I don't need the X-Men being woke, I don't need the X-Men being political, straight away when you watch this show, this just tells those people to go ride a horse and piss off, bruv. Because it's telling you straight up, this is what the X-Men is about. It's no way you cannot, it's intrinsically political, you cannot separate the two. It's impossible. It's deep in the sort of roots of who the X-Men are and what they're about. It's political in nature. Do you know what I mean? When we start off, when they're being told that they're roaches in the beginning, which is exact sort of terminology that other oppressed minorities have been used against those demographics, whether it's Jewish people or black people, whatever it may be, and whether all the LGBTQ plus. So that is just represented in the X-Men. So if you're against that and you're the humans of the X-Men, people sometimes don't realize they're even on the wrong side of history. Even when it's steeped in mythology and lovely Marvel comics and colors, they don't even realize that they're the bad guy. But but it drops you right back into it. The animation is just perfect. The animation is perfect. It reminds you straight of the show from the late 90s, but built upon that. It doesn't feel like they just let's just take the animated show from the 90s and let's just make it look like sort of Pixar, or let's make it look like What If. No, they're like, let's take the essence of what made that sort of 90s animation so special and let's build upon that. Let's make it modern, but let's keep the essence. And they did that so well. Okay, so let's get into the actual first episode. So I knew I was gonna love this shit when it had one of the opening scenes was Gambit in the kitchen just frying up some beignets. I was like, ugh, nailed it. We nailed it already. Because I knew then they got back into the tone of, because listen, I think something the Fox movies might have missed a little bit is that sort of family drama that ensues with the X-Men. It's not just a love triangle between Jean and Logan and Scott. It's an actual soap drama. It's a soap opera with superheroes. It's this one big family living in one big house. So it can kind of get like Big Brother with mutants. So to have sort of those human elements come back into it, the backstabbing, the betrayal, the who's sleeping with who and all of that kind of stuff within the X-Men mansion is so cool to see again. And so with this first episode as well, we start up with a new recruit, and we're going through the lens of him and sort of his recruitment back into the X-Men, whether he stays or not. We know at the end he sort of leaves and heads away after moving to Jubilee. But I only spring that up to say, similar to sort of the original show, how it introduces Jubilee as the sort of eyes of the audience in her first interactions and introduction to the world of the X-Men. So it sort of kicked off in that similar sort of basis, but it sort of did a great job with presenting us any exposition needed. So anything that we might have like sort of forgotten from the original show, because it's been like for basically 30 years. So any exposition they sort of needed to catch us up in, they did it in a way where it didn't feel like they were just like catching us up and let's sit down and take notes. But they were doing it seamlessly and it felt natural, and I didn't feel taken away from it, and which is good, because I think Marvel need this show to work in a way where it's not just serving us like 90s kids fan, but it needs to serve the new generation of Marvel fans, and it needs to serve people that are just into watching a good animated show. So I think it needs to work on all of those fronts. So to have that sort of exposition be so natural, and all those newcomers can catch up without having to watch the previous episodes, I think it's just, they did that so perfectly, and so well done. Here's my biggest like positive to take away from this whole thing. Thank you so much for giving us Scott back. I have missed him so much. This is Scott. Thank you for making Scott more than we have been given in the previous live action iterations. He's so much more. We are giving him so many like sort of things to quarry about already, whether it's taking over in Charles's absence, taking over this family, taking over the X-Men, whether he is sort of good enough to not just be the tactical leader, not just to be the on-field leader, but the actual head of the household. Is he ready for that? That's a great element. And as well, does he want to be an X-Men? Jean is here telling him, listen, we've got Nathan, baby Cable is coming. So how about we just dip on this life, and let's start a bit family together. And maybe Charles was thinking that too. But I just say this because they're giving Scott already so much to do. It's just him opening the show with, to my X-Men. I'm just like, thank you for doing Scott properly. Like, it makes my heart feel so like gleed up and glamorous that we're not overlooking him again. And hopefully this just transfers into the MCU version of Scott and the way they treat the character as well. This show is just magnificent, because we get these little moments of like, say, whether it's like Gambit and sort of Jubilee and Rogue dancing in the nightclub in that first episode. It's like these little moments we probably have been missing in the movies that we get to have in this like sort of long form narrative form of storytelling, and we get that in this. We don't probably get that when we have 2 hours to beat Apocalypse, but we can get moments like this, moments of just deepening the lore and deepening just the connection and bond you have with this family and these characters, and the sort of connection they have with each other, and you can just grow, and you get to watch it even like blossom even further and further and further, because we have that runtime to do it in. Oh my god, the interrogation scene with Gyrick at the end of the first episode was so well done. It was sort of, like I said, like, it will forever be intrinsically woke. With lines like him saying like tolerance equals like is a form of extinction, and sort of the X-Men is in itself trying to like oppose that rhetoric and oppose a rhetoric like that, and a rhetoric that has probably been pretty like rampant in our society today, where it's not as easy as it should be to assimilate with each other, even though at the end of the day, it's this vast world, but we should be able to live harmoniously through it. And the X-Men is a great representation of the times and the sort of periods in history and constant history where we're not living harmoniously, and there is conflict, and there is certain groups that believe that they are sort of more superior than others. And that's why we love the X-Men so much. It's because it hits on these bases, and it does it in a way where it's not hitting you over the head with it, but it's doing it just to sort of put a mirror up to society, and it's done so beautifully in this show again, and it's so nice to have back. Like even when Jean's water breaks, and like she's like, he's coming, and then Wolverine's like, who? Apocalypse? And you just like moments of levity like that, where it's not like these forced setup jokes like MCU can sort of fall in victim of doing sometimes, where it just feels natural, and it goes with the personality of Wolverine, and it goes for the moment, and it works really well within the situation that's happening right now. Sort of the look of fear that comes across his face when he realizes that it's a baby. It's like, oh, I could like fight like Sabretooth in my sleep, but having to deal with a woman in labor, and you just see the white in Logan's face, and it was done so well. Oh, like the final like attack on Magneto's trial, whether it's Storm losing her powers, whether it's him taking the council and just taking them up above and just giving, like, laying some knowledge smack down onto them, which just makes me feel so sad because we're not gonna get Bo DeMeo writing the next season. Whether it's because of his OnlyFans, whether it's because he's not the nicest person to work with, I don't know. But the way he writes Magneto is second to none. And if this is just a taste of what we're in store for the rest of the season, I can't wait. I'm going to restock on more cereal. I'm probably going to get a couple more of these shirts, maybe a couple sizes bigger, so that I can fill the cereal that we'll need for the beautiful intake of the show. I'm ready for more family drama. I'm ready for more Gambit, the greatest X-Men of all time. I'm ready for more Scott. I'm ready for all of this stuff. More Rogue. More. Oh, so nice to have the Southern Rogue again, that Southern belle, like not Anna Paquin just being monotone as hell. Like, no hate to Anna Paquin, she's a very good actress, but I'm just not the biggest fan of her as Rogue, and it's just nice to have like my Rogue back. So okay, that's enough for today. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed X-Men 97 as much as I did. If you did, let me know what you think. If you didn't, let me know what you think, and we can beef about it, because I'm ready to scrap. Alright, hope I see you on the next video. We'll catch you on the next Happy Doomsday. We'll do that long 1 hour videos again. If you haven't checked my last one out, we did great stuff talking about Harry Potter, fan casting the whole series. We talked about Aaron Taylor Johnson being James Bond. We also talked about the announcement of a Teen Titans movie. So go check that one out too. Okay, salam mofos.